I have no idea where I'm going. Okay. This is primarily because I wanted to talk more in depth about something else that applies to me. Pre this ride, I asked the missus to note some things down for me. She did, and I memorised as much of it as I can. Because this is for you, Gravedigger. We're all freaky in our own little way. Yours is nothing to be embarrassed about. In fact, the fact that you can handle it says it all, mate. I would lose my shit if I woke up and saw spiders and stuff all over my bed. So well done to you, buddy. Getting into a topic. For me, my strange activities. Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I've already started badly. Mine start with the fact that I suffer from a mild form of insomnia, so I don't sleep. I don't sleep well, anyway. And when I do sleep, I'm always active. That might require some furnishing with some detail. I'll give you a few examples just to start us off of how active I am when I'm asleep. A little while ago, woke up in the morning and my girlfriend told me that I'd been very scary in the night because she'd woken up in the early morning needing a loo. And of course she gets up and rolls to the edge of the bed where she's going to go to the toilet, and at that point I link my arm round her waist and pull her back across onto the bed. At which point, when she gets right up close to me, I go to, "Where are you going?" in that voice. To which she goes, "Toilet." I then released her. You know, it was nothing after that. I just let her go. But it's the fact that it happened, and it happened like that freaked her out. Because she could see I wasn't awake at all. I was completely asleep. Let me think. Another occasion where my activities. There's multiple occasions. I really am an active person when I'm asleep. There's where I've been making the sound of falling bombs and doing the hand expressions while I've been asleep. You know, the whole. And I've been doing that with my hands as well. There was the night I'd had a few to drink. Now the night I'd been drinking, that could explain it. But basically, in my sleep, I was making spaceship noises. The missus tried to explain it, but she says that she can't even come close to what I was actually doing, which I don't find surprising at all. Now this is where it gets a bit embarrassing for me. My girlfriend calls me a sleep humper. Can't believe I'm saying this on YouTube, but basically when I'm asleep I get quite amorous, quite horny, and my missus has noted on multiple occasions that once I've dropped off to sleep I've actually rolled over and started trying to give her one. One of the instances of that was when I was lying on my side behind her and I was pushing her head down with mine and grunting in her ear. Now, you can't see my face, but I'm actually smiling my little head off because I find that hilarious. It's embarrassing as shit, but if it makes at least one person laugh, then it's worth it, because, you know, that's just some of the shit that I do while I'm asleep. It's fucking daft. You know, I've got no control over it. There's been times where the missus has woken up because I've been talking in tongues. I often talk to myself while I'm asleep. What's one of the memorable ones? Oh, the poo. Ah, the poo. Now this is one the missus clued me into in the morning. She said, "Do you know what you were talking about?" "No, I was asleep, you stupid fuck." Well, here it goes. During the night while I was asleep, the missus reports hearing me go, Pooh! What have you got that for? And then laughing repeatedly, and I kept saying it all night. Another incident, the poo one that gets everybody laughing because it's quite potent and it wasn't that long ago. Then there's the traffic. I was moaning about the traffic in my sleep. Something about following someone for so many miles, and then he just fucked off and left me because I was fucking. You know, the list goes on. I'm a very active sleeper, and it's no wonder that I'm always knackered when I wake up. You know, if I'm that active in my sleep, then you gotta wonder, what the fuck? Why do I bother going to bed? I don't get any rest. I'm always talking or getting up and moving about. Actually, the getting up and moving about hasn't been so much. I've been very lucky in that respect. I should probably go a little bit in depth to that. There isn't so many occasions it's been reported to me, but a few people have noted it in the past. So it's obviously something I used to do a lot, but now don't. Bumpy. According to myth, I say myth, but it's actually fact. According to fact, I, for a time, used to do a lot of getting out of bed and doing things. But people could tell I wasn't awake because I looked lost. So, you know. But yeah, it's mildly embarrassing for me because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm asleep. Now, obviously, I'm not getting up and running around the house. That would be dangerous. But at the same time, I'm talking. Now I got nothing to hide. But my dreams may lead me to believe I've got something to hide. Like, Gravedigger, your thing is that you freak out because obviously shit's happening to you. You've got spiders in the bed, or sea urchins, or the creepy guy. You know, you've got all that going on. So there is the chance that one day you're going to freak out because of it, and you may accidentally hurt yourself because you'll be freaking out. Well, at the same time, I worry about me because there's a chance that one day I'm going to get up and get out of bed and go somewhere and do something. Just because I'm asleep doesn't mean I won't be dreaming about going on my motorbike. And what's to stop me going downstairs, grabbing my keys, getting my bike gear on and going out? It's scary. Fortunately, I've never been that active. I think the most I've ever done is gotten out of bed, gone downstairs, stood in front of a group of people looking at them, and then when someone said, "Are you okay?" I've turned around and walked away from them. I think that's the most I've ever done sleepwalk wise. But it still scares me, because in the same way that Gravedigger could hurt himself, I could severely hurt myself. But not only physical pain, but mental pain. I could say shit to people that I don't necessarily want them to know. You know, I might be standing in front of them and they'll say, "You alright?" And I'll say, "Oh, you know, I cry when I masturbate." I don't, but I might say it in my dreams. I don't have control over that shit. You know, it's a very dodgy, worrying thing. Oh shit. I may have just unearthed a hidden memory that I'd chosen to suppress. A memory from something a friend told me that I dismissed because I was quite young at the time, and I just told them they were a dickhead and to leave me alone. But it was a while back that one of my friends and me were having a sleepover sort of thing. Sleepover sounds gay. But basically, we're in his room, and he's on top bunk, I'm on bottom. He got up during the night to find me staring at him. As he climbed down, I was just lying in bed staring at him. And he turned around, he's like, "You alright, mate?" To which I still think he was bullshitting me about how literal this is, but I don't know. "I am perfectly fine, good sir. How are you today?" Which freaked him the fuck out, apparently. He then noticed that my eyes were rolled back. You know, the whites in my eyes were shown rather than my normal eyes. And then he said, "Oh, can I get you anything?" So I said no. And he said, "Oh, why don't you go back to sleep then?" And this is where he freaked out a bit more, because I turned around and went, "It's okay, I'm already asleep." And then I lay back down. Of course, in the morning I wake up and he's like, "You're a fucking nutter, you are. Why did you have to mess with me like that?" So I don't understand what he's going on about. I think he's bullshitting me or something. Like maybe someone's messed with him in the night and told him it was me. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But basically it's come to me now that I may have been talking to him in my sleep and scared the absolute living piss out of him with my lying in bed talking to him bullshit. Obviously I never meant to do it, but apparently I did. Shit. It's quite scary though, because there's tons of stuff I talk to the missus about while I'm asleep. You know, when she's half asleep she struggles to remember half of it, but I do talk a lot. So it's quite worrying. You know, you have no control over your subconscious, your sleeping brain, but apparently mine quite likes to chat with people. And it knows it's asleep. It's a stranger. It's quite strange. I think I'll tie this all up with a little bit of thank you to my 21 subscribers. 21 the other day, hasn't risen since. You know, I appreciate the support. I'll always watch your videos, you'll always watch mine. Big shout out to obviously the guy I've been talking about a lot in this video, Gravedigger. Well done for coming out about what you consider a problem. Mate, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with anything. You're doing fine, crack on, son. Then there's Suffolk Andy, Lego Ambush. Oh God, you know when you've remembered a list of names and then you forget half of them? Bollocks. Skeggy, of course, who can forget Skeggy? But yeah, there's all you guys. All 21 of you. There are, I think it's 4 or 5 of you who are secretly watching me. You won't make your subscription public, so I don't know who you are, but thank you, all the same. I think I'll go past this one. So, you know, there's that, you know, I've got 21 subscribers, a couple of e-secrets, a lot of vloggers, and I appreciate feedback. But this new comment system seems to have destroyed my feedback ability, because I didn't get any comments on my last video. You bastards. Oh, I suppose while I'm on this bit of road getting home, I can talk a little bit about what I wanted to talk about before I had a little chat with Gravedigger the other night. I say little chat, it was 2 comments. Shut up. Basically, winter gear. Now, my winter gear goes as far as my normal bike gear with a bit of added thermal underwear, you know, like just thermal long johns and a thermal shirt. That normally does me. Big fluffy socks, thermals, gloves, you know, the usual bullshit. That normally does me. Now, after this video, I'm going to upload a video of me basically riding home from a party I'd been to. I went on my bike because I wasn't drinking. Because you don't drink if you're on your bike, obviously. Or drive, obviously. So, I'm going to upload the video, and let's just say it's a 45 to 50 minute bike ride from where he lives to where I live, and it was hail and rain the whole way home. So obviously I'm not in my usual gear. I'm in my spare gloves because my other gloves are melted. That's my fault because I left them on a radiator too long trying to dry them out. That was in work a long time ago. So I'm in my reserve gloves, and I know a lot of you riders are going to have a go at me, but I'm not wearing any bike trousers because they're wet, and I'm wearing my trainers because my bike boots still have water in them, same as my bike gloves. My jacket took 2 days to dry out. My gloves are still soaking wet, even though they've been near a warm source, shall we say. and I've been hung up, and all the drying techniques I've been told by the older people I know, they're still not drying properly. The same with boots, they're just, because of the leather and all the fabric for temperature control and whatnot, it just stores the water up. So you gotta just leave them. And it normally takes about a week and a half over here, because it's constantly damp, it's constantly wet. But yeah, so that video will follow of my suffering. Oh god, it really was suffering. There wasn't a part of me that wasn't soaked. But you'll see that in a bit. Oh look, come full circle. How about that? It's as if I knew where I was going. Oh bollocks. So yeah, thanks for the subs, keep watching, keep enjoying. Comment if you want to, obviously gauging off the last video, a lot of you haven't got Google Plus, bastards, or you just didn't have anything to say. But fortunately, through talking to Laurie, I got a topic out of it regardless. Big shout out to the missus for letting me say all this stuff, you know, about my sleeping habits. It is a bit of an embarrassment, you know, you can't sleep for knowing that you're going to talk to somebody about something. I can't leave the missus alone, because obviously even when I'm asleep I want to make love to her, so it's just fucking joking really. It's bad, it really is. I can't trust myself to sleep because I know I'll hump someone to death.